There was another kind of human walking this planet alongside us. Bigger, stronger, better adapted to the cold. And yet, they went extinct while we didn't. For decades, scientists searched for the one advantage that let us survive when they couldn't. They finally found it, and it wasn't strength, it wasn't weapons, it wasn't even fire. Meet the Neanderthals. They had larger brains than us on average. They were physically more powerful with dense muscular bodies built for harsh, freezing environments. They used tools, they used fire, they even buried their dead and may have created simple art. By almost every physical measure, they should have outlasted us. They had survived in Europe for over 300,000 years, through multiple ice ages long before modern humans ever arrived. But around 40,000 years ago, not long after Homo sapiens showed up, they disappeared. And Homo sapiens, us, spread across the entire planet. For a long time, the leading theory was simple. We were smarter, or we outcompeted them for food, or maybe we were just more violent and wiped them out. But newer research paints a very different picture, one that has nothing to do with brute force at all. So, what was the real difference? Researchers studying ancient tools and campsites found something strange. Neanderthal tools were almost always made from materials found within a few miles of their camp. Local stone, local wood, whatever was close by. But early Homo sapiens? Their tools were made from materials found hundreds of miles away. Stone, shells, and pigments traded and carried across huge distances, far beyond what any single group could have traveled on their own. This wasn't an accident, it was evidence of something much bigger, a network. Homo sapiens weren't just living in small isolated family groups like Neanderthals were. They were connected. Different tribes, sometimes hundreds of miles apart, met, traded, intermarried, and shared knowledge. Anthropologists studying modern hunter-gatherer societies have found similar patterns. Individuals often maintain meaningful social ties with people in dozens of different camps, not just their own. If one group discovered a better way to make a spear point or a smarter way to track animals in a drought, that knowledge could spread to dozens of other groups within a single generation. And this mattered most when things went wrong. If a harsh winter wiped out food in one area, neighboring groups could take them in. If a disease spread through a camp, other groups could share resources until they recovered. Neanderthals, as far as we can tell, didn't have this safety net. Their groups were small, tight-knit, and isolated. Genetic studies of Neanderthal remains actually show signs of inbreeding, a telltale sign of small, disconnected populations with limited contact with outsiders. When something went wrong for them, a bad hunting season, a disease outbreak, a sudden climate shift, there was no backup plan, no wider network to fall back on, just their own small group, alone. This single difference, the ability to build and maintain relationships beyond the immediate group, may be the single biggest reason our species is still here today. Not raw strength, not the biggest brain, connection. Think about what that actually means. The trait that saved humanity wasn't a weapon or a tool you could hold in your hand, it was trust. It was the willingness to help strangers, to trade with people outside your own group, to see other humans as allies instead of threats or competitors. In a very real sense, cooperation was our species' greatest survival technology, more valuable than any spear or fire pit. It also explains something else, why humans, unlike almost every other species on Earth, are so willing to help people we're not related to. In most of the animal kingdom, deep cooperation is usually reserved for close family, but humans regularly help total strangers, form alliances with unrelated groups, and build trust with people we've just met. That's evolutionarily unusual, and it likely traces directly back to this. The small networking advantage of early Homo sapiens becoming so successful that it got wired into who we are as a species. And here's the part that should make you think. That same instinct, the drive to build networks to connect with people beyond our immediate circle, is still wired into us today. It's why humans build cities, economies, the internet, and global trade. It's why we form friendships, business partnerships, and communities with people who don't look like us or come from where we come from. We are at our core a networking species. It's not a modern invention born out of social media or globalization. It's at least 40,000 years old, and it's the reason you're here to watch this video at all. So the next time you help a stranger or make a new connection or reach out to someone outside your usual circle, remember this. You're doing the exact same thing that saved our entire species from extinction. while a bigger, stronger, more physically capable human species faded into history. If this blew your mind a little, hit subscribe. I post videos like this every week. And let me know in the comments, do you think we're still as good at building these kinds of networks today as our ancestors were, or have we actually gotten worse at it?